From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fairbanks Evening News.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. Breaking news to report tonight. United States Army Alaska has released the name of a soldier accused of killing a child on post last week.
23-year-old Sergeant Nathaniel Allroan has been charged with 1 count of premeditated murder, 1 count of kidnapping, 2 counts of aggravated assault, and 1 count of assault consummated by a battery, and also 1 count of communicating a threat.
Now the child, his 3-year-old son, was reportedly found dead by Fort Wainwright Military Police on April 4th on post housing.
That's right. He's being held at the Fairbanks Correction Center awaiting an Article 32 pretrial hearing to determine whether sufficient evidence exists to warrant trial by court-martial. And
we'll have more information as it is available. In other news this evening, the Alaska Innocence Project has filed a post-conviction relief petition for a man convicted of a 1987 murder in Fairbanks. Judge Douglas Blankenship heard testimony today in Fairbanks Superior Court regarding the case and the man sentenced to 198 years for the murder.
Sexually active may have multiple stains in their underwear, correct?
Yes, of course, yeah.
And DNA doesn't tell you when it was deposited, does it?
It does not.
So merely because you have something there just means it's there. It doesn't do anything other than that, correct?
Michael Alexander was convicted of murdering the then 17-year-old West Valley High School student Kathy Stockholm and dumping her body near a trail in Sulcha. Today in court, Bill Oberle asked that a new and improved testing be done using DNA, claiming scientists acted outside the boundaries of what would be considered to be good science at that time.
We're seeking testing of biological evidence that was collected at the time of the conviction that was tested in using methods that were old-fashioned now, and we have methods that can produce much more exact results. DNA will hopefully, on some of these items, produce an actual profile.
The murder happened in March of '87 when Stockholm was abducted from the high school's parking lot. She was raped and strangled by her killer. One of the pieces of evidence presented at trial was glitter that tied Alexander to the victim, found by investigators with the Alaska State Troopers. Today, in front of Judge Douglas Blankenship, testimony was heard regarding hair and semen samples found in her underwear.
We're going to try and see if there's some of that biological evidence left on the clothes, if the cuttings actually left some. If not, if they took all of it, then the hairs are going to be tested. That were found at the scene.
Oberle said that most of the evidence was circumstantial in the case, and that by revisiting the case, he not only aims to exonerate Alexander, but find out who the real killer is.
He wrote us, contacted us, and said, I didn't commit the crime. We looked into it, and it was circumstantial. There seemed to be evidence that can actually identify the person who committed the crime. We can say absolutely who committed the crime. Let's test the evidence and find out.
Stephanie Woodard reporting. A decision by an instructor in 2 UAF community and technical college classes this year has resulted in a potential serious situation for the university. Students in clinical procedures classes were subjected to injections of a substance that was not authorized. The injections might have involved as many as 30 students. The instructor directed her students to use a solution that the manufacturer of the product explicitly stated was not to be used on human subjects. The injections have resulted in some students having medical reactions. The university has expressed serious regret and is now launching a massive investigation.
We've met with the students from both the fall and spring semesters, trying to answer their questions. And second, for the students this semester, how do we address their academic progress? Those are the things we're doing right away, and those are the things that are most important. Over the longer term, then, we need to find out, how did this happen? Why did it not get reported up the chain? How did we purchase the materials? What changes do we need to make in our curriculum? And how do we avoid this ever happening again?
An accident on South Cushman Street this afternoon left both drivers with injuries. The crash occurred at 14th and Cushman at about 1 p.m. According to city police, the driver of a van was going north on Cushman when he ran into the rear of a car. Fairbanks fire crews and police responded to the scene. The driver of the van identified himself as Simon Peter Agneman. He suffered an injured nose, while the woman in the car had a back injury and was taken to the hospital by ambulance for a checkup.
Okay, when we come back, state agencies and Native groups from Alaska and Canada are working to find solutions to prevent a disaster.
And the local Habitat for Humanity is looking at a new way to help disabled veterans. Those stories are next. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Fairbanks Evening News. Yukon River Chinook salmon populations have been waning in recent years, and when the fish reach Canada, their numbers dwindle. State agencies and Native groups from Alaska and Canada are working to find solutions to prevent a disaster. As part of the Yukon River Treaty Agreement, at least 34,000 king salmon must cross into Canada, but scientists say it may be impossible this year. As a result, people in both countries may change fishing practices to help increase Chinook spawning rates. The Grand Chief of the Council for Yukon First Nations says this meeting is a larger extension of what has come before.
We've talked back and forth, but not as groups, and we really need to express to them what our concerns are of the limit to fish coming across the border to our side, and maybe we have some solutions to what information they have to give.
The largest mining convention ever for Alaska has brought nearly 150 vendors, hoping to strengthen their relationship with miners and the community. Many vendors at the Carlson Center are not directly related to mining, but they support the industry through construction, transportation, and energy supply. The Alaska Miners Association Conference will continue through the 13th, featuring the latest state-of-the-art technology, tools, equipment, and materials. Some of the vendors said why they wanted to be a part of the trade show.
You know, to make new relationships, strengthen the ones that we have, maybe get the word out about our smaller product up here. Some of the mines in Southeast are using our larger engine product, like the one in the background there. So just kind of let people know we're in the market.
We wouldn't be here without the mining industry. We wouldn't have a branch in Fairbanks without the mining industry. So, well, it's a huge part of our business. Our volume, our revenue is dictated by the mining industry.
The local Habitat for Humanity is looking at a new way to help disabled veterans. Monty Bowen has that story.
The Fairbanks Habitat for Humanity affiliate has focused in the past on building new homes. They now are seeing a demand for home repair.
And I had the opportunity to go to the lower 48 this winter and learn that other affiliates have incorporated home repair into what they offer to the community.
Bruce thought with the large military population in the area, it would be a great opportunity to help disabled veterans.
If we could just do some small projects that focused on disabled vets and those that need just a little help on the small projects, what a great way to give back to the community.
The new home repair program, which they are starting this year, will focus on projects like cleaning and painting.
We've got a project that we're doing out in North Pole. We're going to help a veteran that he built his own house, but he needs some help taping and mudding the seams on the drywall. So we're going to be doing projects like that.
Another example will involve upgrading access to a home.
We're going to complete an Arctic entry on a home so that the house is more energy efficient and they've got a little more storage room. So we're not talking about huge projects, but it is something new that we're doing in the community.
It will also be a way to utilize the large turnout of volunteers they have.
Especially in the military community, they can overwhelm us. We once had 83 airmen show up from Eielson on one of our projects, so we have to find a way to use all this enthusiasm.
People wanting more information about the program can go to the Habitat for Humanity website. You can find the link on our site, webcenter11.com. This is Monty Bowen reporting.
The Military Report is brought to you by Stanley Nissan. Innovation for all.
Okay, well, Joe Cook is next with Ice Dogs playoff highlights. Could they take the lead in a tied series?
All right, find out next. Plus, 2 local student athletes signed to their colleges and an Arctic Man preview. Sports with Joe is next.
Hello, Interior Alaska. Joe Cook here in the sports seat for you this evening. Let's get over the hump with some sports. We start with playoff hockey. The Ice Dogs were in the Soldotna Sports Center last night for a critical Game 3 in the best-of-5 series against the Brown Bears. Both teams came in with a win in the series. In the first period, it was all Fairbanks as Wyatt Eggy, who just has a knack for scoring against Kenai. His second goal of the postseason gives Fairbanks a 1-0 lead at the 12-14 mark of the first. Yannick Vidal, he quickly gets in on the action with a goal just 20 seconds later to make it a 2-0 game. After a Kenai goal from Nathan Cowell, newcomer Ross Olson, he sent in his first postseason score with 34 seconds left in the opening period for a 3-1 Fairbanks lead. There was only one goal in the second period and maybe some sabotage as former Brown Bear Jake Bushy does a Trojan horse. He put one in his own goal. Alvin Carlson, he was credited with the goal. It's a 3-2 game going into the third period, but the Ice Dogs told Bushy, don't worry about it. They have short-term memory. The Ice Dogs had a masterful third period. Just 48 seconds in, Todd Burgess scored on a power play short side, and Johnny Mueller, he got his second postseason goal with 8.5 minutes left to give the Ice Dogs a 5-2 advantage. Kevin Aldridge got back on his horse with a shutout third period and 22 saves on the night. Balance from the Ice Dogs with 12 different players getting a point and 5 different goal scorers. The Ice Dogs can finish the series tonight with a win.
It feels awesome. I mean, playing in the playoffs with these guys, I mean, like you said, I came halfway through the year, but I feel like I'm already brothers with all 23 of them.
I thought guys just made some smart plays and some good reads, and I thought we had kind of a second layer of attack at the net that allowed us to, you know, create our opportunities. I mean, the strength of our locker room are the guys in our locker room, and I think they understand the task at hand, what it's going to take. Then we'll go over a few things and come up with a game plan and work hard to execute it.
Just hard work again, move our feet, get pucks to that net, and just get the dirty goals.
Now, if Kenai wins tonight and ties the series, the deciding Game 5 will be this Saturday at the Big Dipper. Fairbanks or Kenai will get the winner of the other division series. Wenatchee has a 2-1 series lead over the Minnesota Wild. Game 4 in that series is Friday night in Minnesota. We'll have more on the Fairbanks Ice Dogs tomorrow. Now, the offseason has started for a number of sports, but it's also the start of something new. Today at West Valley High School, Trayvon Brackett and trustee Sigmund signed national letters of intent to start their new careers. Brackett, who committed early to Ancilla College in Dawson, Indiana, will be a Charger this fall. Brackett was an all-MAC conference 4A All-State and All-State tournament pick in basketball in his senior season, averaging just under 22 points and 10 rebounds per game with 16 double-doubles. He also won the state title last year with the East Anchorage. Sigmund, a defensive lineman for the Wolfpack, signed to Rochester Community and Technical College. Sigmund will be a Yellow Jacket in Rochester, Minnesota. The Yellow Jackets have won 4 straight state titles in the MCAC and went 10-2 last season. Sigmund was a first-team selection to the All-Rail-Belt defensive team and he was on the second-team Large Schools All-State team on defense as well. The 6'2", 250-pound linebacker had 56 tackles and 7 sacks as a senior. Both signees talked about moving on to the next level.
I just really connected with the coaches. It's a young coaching staff. They're really energetic, really positive feelings from there. You know, I just feel like it's a great stepping stone to not only succeed there, but hopefully succeed at the next level.
I'm probably not going to be the biggest person on the court besides Kobe. And I don't know. I just get to run around and shoot threes.
I think that he fits in perfectly with them. They've got a great point guard. They've got a great shooter now, and a couple of big wings that can do well for them. So I think it's a perfect fit.
And the 2014 Arctic Man is slated for this Friday. Conditions are looking good for Friday's main event. Last year was historic. Tyler Ackelstead and Marco Sullivan three-peated in the men's ski event for a new Arctic Man record. Nate Holland set a men's snowboard record, finishing in 4 minutes and 26 seconds for back-to-back titles. 2013 featured the first adaptive class where skiers went down on one ski as well. At least 32 teams have signed up for this year's Arctic Man, including an X Games team. This year's purse is over $110,000. Race director Howard Thies and his staff bounced back after Tessero abruptly ended their 20-year relationship as the main sponsor about a month before Arctic Man. Now this year it's the Polaris Outpost Alaska Arctic Man. The Haddads, John and Cindy of the Harley-Davidson Farthest North Outpost and Polaris stepped to help make up that main sponsorship in the 29th edition of the Arctic Man happening this weekend. This year's event is also dedicated to 9-year-old Sean Brown, who passed away in an accident near Arctic Man last year. I'll be at the Arctic Man again this year, and we'll have reports from the Voodoo in the Hoodoo Mountains on Saturday and Monday Sportscast brought to you by the Alaska Fun Center. And that'll do it for sports tonight. Thanks for rocking with me for a little while. For more KTVF Sports, just go to Twitter, YouTube, webcenter11.com. You can also get our app. Stay warm, Alaska, or maybe you can get cool. Let's find out more in the full weather forecast coming up next, and we'll catch you next time.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back into our newscast this evening. Mike Schultz back with you, finally trying to get over this cold. And again, thanks to Daryl Clark for doing the weather. I know that's a lot of work on top of him. And as far as our weather is concerned, we're looking for temperatures that could be near the 50-degree mark by Saturday and continuing into next week. So that's some good news to pass along. We'll talk more weather in just a little bit. Our photograph for tonight, this one's sent in by Michelle Myhill, and it's a full photograph of the Salsha sunset on the ice there. Very nice shot. Once again, if you have a photograph to share, send it to photos at ktvf11.com, and we will share them with the rest of the audience. Here's what's going on as far as our numbers right now. 40 degrees our normal high. Today's high only 17 degrees. The normal low 16 above. Last night's low 5 below. Record high 56, 2007, 16 below, 1911, sunrise and sunset, 14 hours and 39 minutes, a gain of 7 minutes from yesterday. Our satellite and radar showing things clearing out as the high pressure begins to build once again across the entire state, pushing all of the clouds and moisture away, and that's going to continue right on through the weekend. Like I said, warmer temperatures are in the offering. In fact, it could be 50-degree temperatures plus this weekend. What's going on across the rest of the state today? Showers over southeast Alaska. Lots of sunshine elsewhere as the high pressure begins to build in and push things away. And you can see temperatures chilly up a barrel. 11 degrees below zero there and 14 degrees at Fort Yukon. That'll be replaced the next couple of days with 20s, 30s, and 40s. Over the lower 48, things are drying out across the western half of the country because high pressure building in there. 92 degrees in Las Vegas, 95 at Phoenix. Elsewhere, we have clear to partly cloudy skies around Texas. Over the Gulf Coast states, it's looking kind of nice, partly cloudy, 71 degrees in New Orleans, and then really nice over the New England and New York area. Temperatures in the low to mid 60s. And as far as our satellite and radar, you see not a whole lot going on because high pressure is also maintaining the weather there, keeping all the storminess away. And the jet stream, once again, is going to be very far to the north, allowing all that warm air to come up from the south and create a lot of warm temperatures across much of the lower 48 over the weekend. A little rain across the Great Lakes, and that's about it. Back to Alaska for tomorrow in the northern sections. Mostly cloudy skies for Barrow. Plenty of sunshine at Nome and Fort Yukon. The same can be said for the interior. Once again, sunny skies for Fairbanks and Healy. Just a few clouds around the Delta Junction area. Over southeast Alaska, that's probably where the worst weather is going to be. Looking at mixed rain and snow for Juneau. Rain may be heavy at times in the Ketchikan area. While over to the southwest, looking at cloudy skies at Cold Bay. Lots of sunshine at Bethel and also Kodiak Island. And over the south central regions, sunny skies for Anchorage and Homer, becoming partly cloudy in Valdez. Okay, this week we're giving you some weather facts because I've been sick. I didn't have a chance to talk to kids. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll get a chance to visit with the kids. But tonight's weather fact, 2011, Mapleton, Iowa was hit by a tornado and half the town was destroyed. And the good news is nobody was killed. That's always a good thing to pass along. And again, thanks to Mount McKinley Bank for sponsoring our Kids Weather Watch. And like I said, in a couple of weeks, we'll be visiting with the kids from Crawford Elementary School. All right, here's your forecast for the remainder of the night. Looking at clear to partly cloudy skies. 8 degrees below zero for the overnight low, cooler than last night. Tomorrow's forecast, 30 degrees, lots of sunshine, considerably warmer, but the best news is the 5-day outlook. Look at these temperatures here. Looking at 40 to 50 degrees above zero for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Overnight lows will also be rising to the 20-degree mark. No precipitation in the forecast. So that snow we had was just a little bit of a fond farewell from Mother Nature, and things look really good. And for the Arctic Man, they're going to be looking at lots of sunshine down there too. And the roads are in good shape.
Wow, that's great. So I'll take tonight -8. I was going to get a little upset about that, but then when I saw that 50,
I was upset because I had to tell everybody it was going to be cold all this week, and Mike comes back, and what do you know? He's got 50-degree temperatures on hand for us for the weekend.
Is that Mother Nature? I mean, is she playing tricks on us?
Well, you know, just
absolutely
decided to give us a nice warm-up, and then we'll take it.
Yeah.
I will take 50 degrees. I'm excited.
Absolutely.
Open the windows, people.
Oh, yeah,
it's
air
spring.
out. Let some air in. That's true. All right, thanks, Mike. And that will wrap up this edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. We are glad you could join us.
Coming up tonight on NBC Nightly News, team coverage on the mass stabbings that happened at a Pennsylvania high school. Stick around, that's coming up with Brian Williams.
Remember to join us here 6 days a week at 6 and 11 or online anytime at webcenter11.com.
Okay, from all of us here at the News Center, we hope you have a great night.